What's up, guys? Making a video, a trading recap on GU, my favorite, about a trade I took and then a trade I was potentially going to take and I just missed out. I blanked out, and it actually worked out really well, but I still want to make a video on it just because it was such a just classic setup, and I think it'll be helpful for you guys. So to jump right into it, we're on the 4 hour again. To zoom in to recent price action, we can get rid of that. Basically, we had price react off of this H4 fair value gap fill-in into that sort of supply zone right there. I marked out we had some liquidity up above. Then we can dive in to lower time frames. So obviously we have this buildup of liquidity below. See right there. And we have this H1 fair value gap. So to start out, I dove into the 15-minute, did my usual sessions layout. So we got our Asia session, just mark out our high and low of the day. So with that being said, we have our POIs. Let's go to, we get, what is that? All right, one more candle. All right, so now this is London session. Now let's dive into the 5. So you can see we got a clear raid of the high, of Asia high. Take the sessions off. And we actually broke structure. So we're just gonna mark that out, keep that in mind. Now let's dive into the lower time frame. So we can see we have a pretty clear fair value gap on here, on the 1 minute. Just gonna mark that out. So pretty clear on the 1 minute, and then I usually jump to other time frames just to see. So obviously we have it still on the 2 minute and also on the 3 minute, nothing on the 5 minute. All right, so we have this 1 minute POI right here. This point of interest that we are gonna be looking to either just blindly enter shorts, which is something I actually just placed right away, just from seeing that reaction going into it with our 5 minute break of structure right here. So I actually placed some limits, just targeting Asia low as the first target. So that was what I was looking for originally, and price actually just started kind of, just jumping all over the place, kind of ranging. And we got some reactions like this. I thought price was going to go right to my target, but I looked and saw all these equal poor highs. So all these highs just look too suspicious to me. I just figured that they actually would be inducement instead of actual, like structural highs. And I figured if price was going to come back, it would come back to sweep those before reversing back down. So I was actually looking for low time frame long positions into sweeping this into this M1 fair value gap. So we'll let price play out a bit more, and we actually got one of our classic patterns right here. So we got a sweep of the low followed by a sweep of the high that created that low. Oops. And displacement. So you could have entered off of this displacement right here. Let's see. Could have entered off this displacement fill right here, just targeting the high there for about, not the best R. As you get lower, you probably could have got 1.7 going into it just because of that wicks being so big. So you could have entered there. I actually didn't enter there. I'll show you why I saw. So price came down. Very strong reaction to the upside. This is where I actually looked for trade, and after seeing that reaction, I actually just went and took this right here for about, I had it a little bit lower than this low for about, I think it was a 1.8 R. Right about there, and let that play out. And you can see price wicked up to it pretty quickly. Pretty quick little trade. Where was this? 7 minute trade. So that was the first trade I took, and then I was actually waiting for DXY to go into a fair value gap, a 15-minute fair value gap. Look for the reaction off that. But you can see we swept all these poor highs. Now we are in this 1 minute fair value gap, POI, swooped inducement, and this is where a great short could have taken place. We'll let it play out a little bit more. And what you could have done, instead of, if you just didn't want to blindly enter off this, you could have waited for a structure break like that and entered off of that right there, like marketed off of that or something. Just seeing this reaction, this wicking reaction into this supply zone. And you could see that played out within 3 minutes. That would have been a 3-minute trade. And just to pain myself even more, we're going to actually let this trade play out for the rest of the day. So this trade, if you actually were holding on and had, you know, balls, we're at 25R for the day. So definitely a bit painful. Not just entering off of that, because I think I was journaling the first trade I took, that 1.8R, you know, tripping over dollars to pick up pennies. So, but with that being said, I hope this was helpful. Just to recap real quick, we were looking within this Asia range at the start of London Open session. So that's what we marked out right here. London Open starts. We had a break in the structure in the 5 minutes. We had a 5-minute rate of Asia high, followed by a 5-minute break of structure. With displacement, marked out the displacement, saw some inducement. If you wanted to, you could have taken a long position into the inducement and that fair value gap. Seeing the reaction of the fair value gap, you could have entered either blindly, or you could have entered off of a structure break targeting Asia low and potentially these poor lows. You never really know when it's going to just basically die like this. This is a very unlikely move that would happen most of the time. Potentially for something like this, maybe you could just leave runners going, maybe 20% position size running down there. You know, if you think that is going to be a target. Personally, I wasn't looking for that. I was actually thinking we would start getting a sweep of some of these poor highs up above over here, but you know, price had a mind of its own, and you don't want to trade against that. So with that being said, if this was helpful, give me some feedback below, and have a good rest of your day, fellas.